Yep.
Yeah.
Alright, we're live. Let's do it.
Yay.
Alright, we
Let
are
us-
live.
Let us start immediately. So, let us recall what has happened in the previous session and the summary I gave today. that I should have given last week, but it's okay.
It's
Or
okay.
2 weeks ago, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not much has happened. The party just chose to rest for a day after putting out the fires of Varkstead. And at first light, they set out for the mines and brought along their dragonborn friend slash slave at this point, as he was not trusted to be in the town, and also scared for his own safety that he will
Mhm.
be beaten up by the local populace. He has very few options but to go with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
You guys venture into the mines and discover very fiendish creatures that dwell in the dark, with like sharp like spines coming out of their back, and they attack from the ceiling, and you can tell they're not from this world. That they're fiendish in nature, and you took them all down. And as you guys venture deeper, you guys saw the very chaotic and messy ritual of the tieflings, as one of them slit his throat and landed
Mhm.
on top of a male human body. And after that,
Mm-hmm.
his that body became a green large demonic demon, which you beat into a pulp.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and Adrian did stab and kill all the blobs that suggest that they were the villagers
Yep.
from before.
They're
Yeah,
beyond
that's not
redeemable.
much to explain.
Yeah.
And as you guys, finally finish off this green creature, as his skin literally melts into the ground and disappear, what's left behind is no longer the human male body that morphed into this, but rather a familiar and same body, but instead purple and with horns.
A tiefling.
And that's where we start. All of you are just in front of this body. He is barely breathing.
Wait,
And,
he's still alive? Okay.
He's still alive.
Damn,
I shall
son.
remedy that.
Should
Do
we
we need to
correct
keep
that
him
error?
alive?
I mean,
Well, no, let's actually, let's not. Let's see
Is
what he
there-
knows.
Is there any information we need to know from him?
yeah. If
Yeah, what
if
is
not,
summon? What?
should we?
Actually, let me just.
Who's nearest
Right,
to the
I have
body
to make
right now?
Adrian
Oren,
actually.
can you-
Adrian
Do I have
and
to make a
Oren.
check if I jump over there?
Might be.
Yeah, you can. Orion, and I'll make one for Adrian. We'll roll a perception check.
Yep.
Perception.
And while you guys are moving closer.
Yep. Perception. Okay.
Perception. Give me.
Oh, 18.
I always see so much.
Yeah. So
This is so
perceptive.
blind.
Light in my eyes.
Yep.
And Adrian kneels and oh wait, he fails this check. He's blind. Never mind. God damn it.
Oh, god damn it.
He can just tell though, like he says, like he's still breathing.
Mm. Indeed. I kind of check his pulse and says, "So, do we need anything from him?"
Oh, Zach, since you're going near to the body now and checking his pulse,
Yeah,
can you make a perception roll as well?
I did. That's what I did.
Oh, did
yeah.
you? 18. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Then you take a closer look with the body and examining from the foot upwards, and he's has a very lean but muscular build. Not really bulging muscles like Orion, but enough to get the job done.
Mm-hmm.
And you look that his hands are very calloused, like he used his hands a lot in his work. And you notice that the most calloused parts of his hand are the fingers. Like there's a line, like between on two fingers.
Like a
that are, like,
seasoned soldier or a combatant.
Oh, wasn't he
an
like?
archer.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Actually, I don't think we need to kill him. I think he's a villager. Remember that archer guy that's missing
Yes, but
there? That might be him. I don't know
Okay.
why he's transformed into a tiefling,
yes.
but yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm. Curiouser.
Yeah. Well, if that's the
And,
case, then let's wake him up. See if he knows something.
Yeah, as you
Any
guys
of you
are.
want to treat his wounds?
I'll try. I don't have it. Well, I have slight medicine. check.
It's less
Oh,
about
love you.
wounds, rather it's like his body's like
Yeah.
exhausted. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't have any prevalent wounds, like
Mhm.
nothing that you cause damage to him on with that
Mhm.
green demonic form. Rather that right now it seems like he's the vessel, and all
Mhm.
the wounds are gone with the skin that fell to the ground.
Mhm.
Instead, it's like a battery that's really out of juice.
Okay.
Okay.
And as you guys are gathering around trying to wake him up, like the Black Dragonborn just slowly walks forward. Is it over?
Yep. It's over.
Yeah, it's
Don't
over.
even think about running away.
He holds his hands up and said, like I said, I'm not running away, and he like just jumps over the river and goes behind
Yeah.
Adrian and Zach.
Mhm. Okay.
Time to hide there from the evil lady.
All right. I guess I'll walk towards him. So if he's exhausted, with
Yeah.
can I do a medicine check to see if I can, bring him back at least to a slight consciousness?
Yeah, sure, go ahead. Yeah.
All right. 15.
Yeah. You think you can bring him back to consciousness? Just try to wake him up, but he's probably gonna be unable to, like, walk like undisturbed or walk normally.
Okay.
He would just be very tired. Like he would be limping and trying.
Mhm.
He's gonna walk very slowly.
All right. I look around and I just look at the Dragonborn and says, "A hand, please."
Yeah, and he just like goes near and
Yeah.
helps you out.
Yeah, and I just carefully, place the now turned tiefling villagers onto the Dragonborn's back. And I was like, well, let's go back to the
Wait.
village.
We're saving one of the tieflings.
Well, he's...
I don't think he's a tiefling.
Yeah.
He's probably a villager.
The ritual
Turned
done
into
something to
tiefling.
him. Yeah.
So he became purple.
He might be. We're going to ask the villagers, and if he turns out to be a tiefling, we can still kill him.
Okay.
Well,
like he
there's
just-
an archer missing in the village, and this
Yes.
guy is an archer.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't ask about how he looked, though.
We never actually did.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, good way.
Huh.
He might be. He might not be. We will see.
We'll see. Yeah.
That's just my theory.
He nods and you guys. He just looks back to you guys and looks at the river.
Mm-hmm.
How will this work?
Is there anything around that we can use to, build a small, I don't know, bridge or
Maybe
a raft
there's another
or
way out, like
or another way out?
that direction.
Yeah,
Is
you see
can I
like
toss
yeah,
him across the narrowest part of the river?
Or maybe
do,
here.
yeah.
Yeah, we do see something.
yeah, you do see an exit there. Yeah.
Okay.
Is that an exit or does it lead deeper?
We don't know. We can check. We have no
Go
clue.
check.
You guys
Yeah.
can check. You guys can check.
Yeah, you can check. I will keep an eye on our prisoner here just in case he does something.
Yep.
I don't think he's gonna run.
Yeah.
At least he kept telling us.
Yeah, he likes to keep saying that.
It's annoying.
Yeah. You guys. Yes, so I assume it's Civ and Zach. Yeah. You guys are gonna
Yes.
check. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys go. As you go deeper within this part, like you can see there's two ways. One that seems to lead to the right, and the left side. You can see like the faint stream of sunlight, and you can hear the sound of wind,
Okay.
suggesting that it does lead outside.
All right.
So outside where in relation to the river? I'm not that like.
Well, we'll have to find out, but at least we can get out of here for now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, I'm gonna take a really short rest to recharge myself. Just yeah.
You'll take a short rest. All right. So
Yeah.
within the cave.
About 10 minutes. Just when we doing recess.
All right. Go
Yeah.
ahead. So you guys just clear the bodies off to the side, clean it up. You see Adrian is specific about keep cleaning up the blobs over you guys. Like, you just make sure you guys are gonna handle it.
Let's.
And you guys put all the tiefling bodies to the side.
I think you said the
and
stream was magical?
the stream.
Yeah, the water.
No, it just
I
looks
don't-
weird colors. We never really inspected. It just the color is
No,
weird. We don't want
expect
to
it
touch it.
now. I don't expect it now.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Make an Arcana check. See what I can't see.
18. Okay. Cool.
So you put your hands into the water, feel. You can definitely tell that this is different from regular stream water, but you can't really place it down if it's due to magic or the water just going through a mountain.
Oh.
Uh-huh. Would it be too much if I forced our prisoner to drink some of this?
You can ask if he's fine with drinking some.
He did say force, so
Yeah.
I don't think
Do you
he'll
want to
ask
force him to drink
politely. Yes.
I mean, if you want him to drink it, you have to tell him.
Yeah. I'm not gonna force him to do it. You know what? Nothing ventured, right? If it turns out to have some kind of blessing, I don't want him to get the blessing.
Well, you can
So,
drink it if you want to.
Yeah, I will reach down, cut my hand, take a little bit out, and drink up.
Mm-hmm.
You drink and it tastes refreshing, actually, more than usual water. You can tell there's some sweetness to it. Like there's someone added lemon fruit within the water itself.
Huh.
And you can probably tell the reason why it tastes like that is probably because of the magic that is imbued into it.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So it doesn't provide any in-game, mechanical benefits, but it does make you feel definitely more refreshed than you were earlier. If you want to wonder why the water is magical, you can roll a history.
I know why
Ooh,
it's magical.
you know your history.
Because there's a unicorn upstream being into it right now.
We can. That's definitely one of the possibilities. You don't know. Freya's unicorn's pee is quite divine.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
glad to know
I was. That's one of the possibilities. I'm not saying it is, but most likely is one of the goddesses of restoration when Midgard was screwed over. One of them in particular, Gefjun, the provider. She's basically the head of the goddesses of these of this type, where she basically led to growing forests, adding waters to streams and like that. So you can assume these are one of the rivers that were magically produced by her.
Whoa.
By who?
Chopping.
Hang on, man.
Yeah. Chopping. So.
Sorry. Am I still cutting? Chopping?
Yeah.
Guys?
Cutting
Yep.
out, yes.
A little bit.
There we go.
Hello?
Yep.
Hello.
Welcome back.
It's good.
Okay, so which part did I cut off?
You said
The
it's
goddess.
Magical rivers of, and then something.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Oh yikes! My voice
Yeah.
connection is getting worse.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Okay. It's going back and forth. So just tell me
Yeah.
when I'm cutting out. So
Open the mouth.
basically, Gefjun, one of the goddesses of restoration, basically called the provider to many. Stored many parts of Midgard, grew forests, made rivers. You can assume these are one of the rivers she has made, seeing as it's not a normal river, and it's definitely imbued with magic. So you can tell that this was made by her.
Okay.
At least one of the many rivers that was made by her.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's, so it's not going to kill me at some point in the future. That's good to know.
And seeing you drink from water, the black dragonborn seemed thirsty as well. He drinks from the water too.
Hmm.
Huh.
And like
Okay.
he just once he gets a first sip, he like drinks a lot.
Yep.
It's probably better than
Like-
anything he's ever had.
That is true. So after 10 minutes has passed, you guys took your short rest. I assume you guys after this 10 minutes break, you can
Mm-hmm.
like you get the black dragon where like lays down the new tiefling to the ground. So cute. He puts the tiefling to the side and lets him like lie down in a proper manner, of course. And after 10 minutes, you can see that his eyes slowly open.
Mm-hmm.
He tries to get up, but he sees that he's obviously weak and just lays down back on the floor and just
Okay.
like he looks left and right and like notices I guess you guys notices you guys. He just says, who are you? What has happened?
I'm going to say, well, first you turned into a devil that we had to beat the crap out of. So, I think it would be better to start with who you are, and then we go from there.
Where's your accent, Oren? Where's your accent?
I'm trying to be quiet. I've got people sleeping nearby.
Okay. Just kidding.
He grabs his head like he feels like a small headache, and like where his forehead would be, he stops in surprise as he sees there's horn. Like he grabs the horn first, and
Mhm.
like he just immediately puts his hand away from the horn, and he just says, "My name is Leonard. I was a hunter for Varkstead."
Yeah,
Were
that
you
guy-
always a tiefling?
What do you know? Is it? What are you talking about? No, I don't
Hmm.
want to be one of those things.
Look in the mirror. And I pointed at the water.
And he just looks towards he just looks at the water, and then his eyes just suddenly go open, and he just jumps back from the water and is no, this must be a nightmare.
Yeah,
Ah.
I'm gonna just take
We'd
him.
wish.
I'm gonna turn him to face me.
Mm-hmm.
Just slap him once across the face. And
Get
then
a hold of
back to
yourself!
Look into the water once again. So it's not a dream.
I don't see how being a tiefling makes you a different person, but yeah, sure.
I'm gonna look at this and just say we saw someone transform into a devil. All right. Turning a human into a tiefling is not that much of a stretch of imagination after that.
Exactly. I don't see how it's a bad thing. He hasn't changed as a person, has he?
I don't know.
Who knows?
He just looks at the water, and he just says, "You don't understand. The tieflings are evil. That's what I've been taught since I was a child."
Do you
No,
feel
I
evil
find that-
right now?
I'm different.
And he can't answer that question.
Mm-hmm.
But and then he just says, "Wait,
She just squints at him.
how he just he buries his face into his hands, and he just says, "Oh no, how is she gonna react to this?"
I don't know. The other option is we could still kill you so you don't have to feel ashamed. But then you will forfeit your life, so whatever
Then you won't feel
please.
anything.
I don't mind killing you off.
He looks he actually thinks about it, but ultimately
She squints harder.
Yeah.
idea
The willing of
living
survival.
with-
Yes.
He just says, I prefer to live.
Even
Thought
as a
so.
tiefling.
Mm.
But will the village still accept me after what I've become?
If
That will be up to them, not us to answer that question. But
Yeah, that's
if
a-
you want to find the answer, we'll need to go back.
also Siv kind of opens her mouth, but then closes it again. She just stays quiet for now.
Hmm.
Okay.
And the black dragon, not really reading the mood after just drinking a bunch of water, says, "Oh, don't worry, pal. If they don't accept you back, we can venture together.
I squint
Dragonborn
at the
is-
How
dragonborn.
it's meant to be. Dragonborn and tiefling, how it was meant to be,
I squint at the
Um,
dragonborn.
right?"
We were
And like-
You are an idiot.
And he just looks at like
I'm gonna think
He-
for a
like,
moment. I'm
Leonard
gonna-
just looks at the black dragonborn, just like left and right, like he just shakes his head furiously and just goes back. No, never.
Well, no. I mean, it might help to have a couple people in our desk. Favors that we can call in. Let's not just go back very quickly. So
Yeah, we should go back. There's
yeah, but well, I would have
no.
taken back anyway.
Yeah.
I would have said I was going to do that, and I would already said that I'd accept my payment as a horse, not as money.
Yeah,
Yes, definitely.
definitely.
All right. Yeah. So you guys go through the alternate exit.
Yes.
It leads to like the left side of like if you go northwest from the original entrance, that's
Mhm.
where you would be right now.
Ah, I see.
So you guys walk off east,
Mhm.
to go to the original entrance, and you do see the horse is still there and just eating some grass.
Huh,
Oh, good.
that's good. Yeah.
And you guys are going to be traveling back to Varkstead.
Mm-hmm.
But let us cut the scene here to a place called Valhalla.
Yay!
Sings. Cut sings.
And really, please tell me the music's gonna work. So I'll just play it through the Bard bot.
Yay, fun bot.
Bart, Bart.
Bart,
Do
Bart.
your job. Bart, Bart. Do your work. You had one job. Just one.
You had one job, Bart bots. Let's see if you can do that.
Yay.
For a second here, I thought Dennis had joined, but then I was disappointed.
It's just so fun. So you guys are gonna see something on Valhalla, like the top of it's literally on the top of Midgard, where it would be situated with the World Tree itself, as it's built on nothing but the sky. And although there was supposed to be where the Bifrost connected to Midgard and Valhalla, it has been destroyed, leaving it isolated to only the gods themselves. And around Midgard are patrolling goddesses, Valkyries, the last two Valkyries of Midgard and the gods. They patrol around, making sure nothing's going to attack Valhalla ever again. And as we continue on deeper within Valhalla, the center of it is a large court, a large meeting room, circular in nature, and on the biggest seat, throne even out of everyone, lays a man, not overly muscular, but you can tell that he has years, centuries, millennia of experience behind his belt. And he's holding a spear that that resembles Gungnir, but it isn't. Totally different though.
Mm-hmm.
And he sits there, completely neutral, calm, not really saying a word.
Mm-hmm.
And to the left and right are multiple gods and goddesses that are part of the council. And one man stands up, angry and passionate about something. He is he's Vali, the one born after Baldur's death, and he counterpart to Vidar seems to be very adamant, very passionate compared to his calm and neutral demeanor, and he's just shouting towards all the other council members, saying, "You cowards! You expect me to sit here and watch Ragnarok crawl to our feet? I will crush whoever's in Helheim, with or without any of you!" And he like slams the table, and it radiates throughout the room. And beside him is a lean man with not really much muscle at all, but preferring cunning over pure brute force. And he has long black hair, more handsome than any of the other gods within this room. And it's not Loki.
No,
It's,
I'm just kidding.
His name is Ulir, the hunter of the gods.
Okay.
And he in a more calm way, but still, like, he does have a hint of anger within it. He just says, "I do share your sentiments, Vali, but please calm down." And he just responds saying, "I've heard enough from you, Ulir. Be quiet like the coward hunter you are." And at this point, he's familiar to Orin. Modi has just been standing in the center of this council, where he goes over to Vali and Ulir saying, "Stop!" And he tries to like break up, like they were about to fight. They both stood up and they were about to fight, but Modi steps in, and he tries to break it up. And in fact, all it did was intensify the problem. It became a shouting match between the three, and Vidar, seemingly at his patience was at an end, he slams his spear. It was louder than any giant clap can be heard. Like it can.
A
If
thunder.
you're directly underneath Valhalla, you can probably hear a small clap in the distance. And he says, "Silence!" And all the gods and goddesses just look towards Vidar, as this was a very rare occurrence for him to shout like that, as he's known as the Silent God. And he says, "Vali, I understand your eagerness, but you must not be reckless. For all we know, it could be a trap to lead us into Helheim. These forces are unknown. We don't know if they're smart. We don't know if this was all a game to them. We must be patient and find the best time to strike." Then Vali tries to say, trying to get his word in, You don't understand." And Vidar instantly just cuts him right there and says, "That's my final order. It seems we are once again forced to move our hands, but we will not allow Ragnarok to happen once more." And at this point, like, Vali, seemingly no one's really backing him up. He just sits down, more calm now, but still very angry towards everyone else, thinking like everyone's a coward in their own right. And Vidar just looks towards Modi and gestures him to come over beside, like, in front of his seat. He stands up and says, "Modi, since your brother Magni is handling the order, Sons of Thunder, I require you to be here. Vali and Ulir," he looks towards them, "you'll be under his command. And in an extension, Magnis, you will work under the Sons of Thunder. You will work with them to put down all the chaos around the Seven Realms while we gather more information. Is that understood?" And Ulir, Modi, they nod, and Modi has to, like, he's proud that he's known to be responsible now to Vidar, the leader. Vali doesn't say anything. He just still angry, arms crossed, but he doesn't say anything to deny it. Then he looks towards a woman with long blonde hair that goes like to her back, and wearing like a silk dress that with no sleeves, like sleeveless long dress, silk she's very beautiful, and throughout the entire argument, she's been very passive, and she just hasn't said anything. Rather scared to even say anything towards the council. Her name is her name is Sif, and she's known as the passive one.
Okay.
And Vidar says, Sif, I require you to make contact with Gefjun and the other goddesses of restoration. Go to Valheim. We will need their help. And Vidar just looks at everyone else in the room and says, "That is all. Dismissed." And he like smashes a spear to the ground, and before that he says, "Hjolnir and Hermor, stay." And these two stay while everyone leaves. And Vali he exits, but not without looking back. And he just exits, like seemingly wanting to stay. So Hjolnir and Hermor. Hjolnir is known to be Odin's shadow. Basically, he has done things that Odin has already done, and basically he's like, if you think about it, he's like the spiritual successor to Odin himself, although not as powerful. And Vidar looks to Hjolnir and says, "We must prepare for the worst. Go to the well of Mimir and earn its power. We need the wisdom of that well." Hjolnir just looks shocked, but also kind of expecting it. But then he says, "Saga and Vord won't accept that, Vidar. They have been guarding it for centuries, and they have not allowed anyone to earn its power since Odin." And Vidar, slightly annoyed, says, "It's an absolute order from me. And they will understand and know how urgent it is if I gave you an absolute order to earn its power. Go." And Hjolnir just nods and leaves, heading for the well of Mimir. Then Hermor, the last one, he looks relatively young compared to the others, having just a stubble beard. He's blonde. He wears a helmet, and he has wings to the side, and his clothing is relatively light, suggesting he's more of a person that runs around and does things rather than fight. And Vidar just looks solemn as he looks towards him. "Hermor, I won't lie. This will be the most important and dangerous task you will be given. You have traveled to Helheim on your own and came back when we most needed it. Hermor, I need you to look for the Norns and the Well of Fate. We need to contact Frigg and urge her to break from her isolation. We need her help. Go." And Hermor just nods and leaves the room, as finding the lost Well of Fate will be very hard.
By the way, guess who just showed up?
Dennis!
What up?
Have you finally woken up?
He's still dead. Yeah.
He's still dead.
He's still dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's just his mic is not plugged in, so I assume he's hearing us. Anyway, let's continue.
Yeah.
So Hermor leaves, and all of these pieces are moving into place. The only one left is Vidar and another woman, but definitely muscular, strong. She has a shield and spear by her side, and seems to be like the assistant to Vidar.
Okay.
And Vidar just looks towards her and says, "Our hands are tied, Sin. The elves are refusing our messengers. The dwarves are too busy with the excavation into Svartalheim. We don't have much for help." And Sin just looks slightly confused and says, about the humans, sir." And Vidar just answers quickly, "You know what's happening there. After the recent events, the nobles are too busy playing politics for power. But there's one thing you can do. We have discussed this before. Go do it. I will go to Folk Vangir and talk to Freya and her goddesses as well. We need to gather all the gods and goddesses for this event. And they move. And cutting back to you guys. Adrian, you there?
We had the dream. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
We have nothing. We don't know anything. It's like, this is amazing, by the way. Well done.
Yeah.
And you
And-
missed us taking that tiefling archer dude back to the village. Or we're on our way, about to be on our way. And
We need
yeah,
our
he's basically the
bard.
villager. He's basically the villager turned tiefling.
Yes.
Ah, cool. Did you remember to look through the rest of the cave?
Hmm?
We found another exit.
Yeah, we found another exit.
Yeah.
No, we didn't look through the rest of the cave.
Don't worry, out of character, there's nothing left within the cave.
What is
Okay.
there?
You've done. Like I said, they didn't have a huge force to begin with, so everything you guys found was everything to be found.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
did they find the loot?
Oh, did
there
we?
wasn't.
Did we?
Well, like I said, their stuff evaporated. The
Mhm.
tieflings barely had anything,
Ah, true.
and
Yeah, but how
so-
about the giant treasure chest of +3 weapons there?
yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder about that.
We definitely remembered that. There's definitely something there.
So, while you guys are traveling, the Black Dragonborn approaches you, Adrian, and like he puts his hand out and says, "My necklace."
Ah.
Fuck.
Why would he forget about it?
He was never gonna give it back. I knew it. Let's see how this plays out.
Yeah.
I look to him and say, "Oh yes, if you wouldn't mind," I say as I reach into my back pocket and then hand it to him. Can you tell me about it?
And he looks surprised. He grabs the necklace, puts it around his neck, and says, "Well, why do you want to know stories from us?"
Well, you seem so interested about it. Or- and let's be honest, a story is a story, no matter who is it from.
He fiddles with his necklace. Like there's 5 teeth, and you already know 5 suggest generations.
Mhm.
And he says that well, yeah, and he just says this necklace is of a nameless clan of Black Dragonborn. We never really bothered with a name. And I guess you could say what we know best is stealing. Where our family moved around having competitions of what we can steal the best and the most value. And all 5 teeth we have here are a generation of thieves. And I am the last one. Our clan disbanded over, you could say, a few or really big differences over certain gold and wealth. So here I am now.
So, did you also learn the art of navigating?
Yes, I have. Why?
Falcon is typing furiously.
Yeah.
That's me.
Can you tell me if I'm any good at this? I'm imagining me and him are just having a private, like a silent conversation. To the
Yeah,
side.
probably at the back. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. Listen, that's just me.
Mhm.
Can I go forward towards Orin? and then swipe something from him.
Oh no.
Uh-huh.
It starts.
It starts.
It begins.
The end of our bard.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
What's the contention? Sleight of hand versus perception.
Yeah.
Versus passive perception.
This is
Oh yeah,
perception.
passive perception.
Well, if
What do
you're
you-
not expecting it, yeah. So do a sleight of hand.
No, what's he trying to take first?
I don't know what you have, so
I think it's just anything, just to prove his point.
Well, what I had was, say, chainmail, warhammer, pouch.
I
Okay,
steal your
10 gold.
chainmail. That's right.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Let
yeah,
me just rip the armor you're
Yeah.
wearing in front of me.
No, he's not wearing it. It's in his backpack. Oren is
Oh.
a barbarian. He can't wear.
Yes,
Armor.
I can.
Yeah, well,
I can. I'm
Are you
fighter.
wearing
yeah, it'll be a. Oh right, true.
I was wearing armor for the fight. I didn't take it off.
Okay.
I'll take it off in my sleep.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'm just taking a gold coin or whatever then.
Okay, so all 10 gold gone.
No, a gold
Just
coin.
one.
You can
A
keep
gold
the
coin.
rest.
Alright, just 1 gold coin gone. There you go.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm gonna look back, raise an eyebrow.
He just like he nods and like oh, this is probably a good idea. I don't think it is. I was like thinking
My
maybe he
perception
can.
is 13.
Yeah.
I poke Oren twice and say, "Oh, you dropped this."
I'm gonna take it, look very suspiciously at him, and then say, thank you. I'll put it back where it belongs.
He just yeah. The Dragonborn nods and like he comes over, says it's like that was good. But it does help they're your friends. If they were just strangers, then that might be a bit harder.
Go look around. There aren't really any strangers here, man. So-
Like he like looks he looks a bit like, why are you doing this? Like he just looks at the size of your gold pouch, looks back to you, and says, you don't need to steal.
Hmm.
I don't need to. You're absolutely right. Then again,
And he just oh sorry, continue.
Anything we do in this life is because we want to.
He nods and just he shrugs and just says, well, you're good. You're probably as good as probably good as me actually.
Ah,
Even though I came from a clan of thieves, let's just say that with all the competition going on, no one really taught me.
Hmm.
hmm.
So I'm self-taught.
Oh, impressive. I mean, to be honest, so am I. I mean, the family weren't really great about me acquiring wealth in different ways.
He smiles and nods and he says, well, it seems we do have something in common.
We have plenty of things in common. I'm
Eh.
gonna look to his necklace
Oh man.
and poke one of them and say, which one's that one?
He like looks. It's the 3rd generation. This was when they how would you say this? That's when the whole competition, between thieves kind of happened. I'm surprised it lasted for another 2 generations.
Hmm.
Let's just say there were 2 great Black Dragonborn thieves that were able to. One of them was able to steal from a king. The other one was, let's say, stole from the thief that stole from the king. And, it got out of hand.
Sure. Why not?
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
well, and then you guys continue talking, unless if there's another thing you want to ask.
Nah, nothing much. I'm just gonna continue talking.
While Adrian and the Black Dragonborn are discussing, three of you, and obviously the tiefling that can barely walk, is trying to keep up, but he's doing relatively okay. He's trying to get like bearings to like his new body.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like he says it looks like he's been like looking up and down, realizing that his height might be different.
Mm-hmm.
He touches like his arms, feeling like trying
Stronger?
to see if it's smaller, bigger, yeah, things like that. But most importantly, he keeps touching his horns and his tail, not really know how to feel about it. Like with his tail, he doesn't. He knows he can control it, but that like when you have a new limb, it's like
Yeah.
well,
You need to
Ah.
relearn how to control everything, like a baby.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, like his center of gravity is different because he has this huge thing at his back, basically. So he has to get used to walking a bit more forward than he is used to as a human.
Mm-hmm.
And well, he just says, "So, is the village all right?"
Well, it was okay when we left. Well, besides a few of your people missing, including you. So that's why we came out in the first place. We're trying to find the missing persons. Sadly, you're the only one who, made it out alive. But, yeah.
I should have listened to my wife. Should have just stayed.
What
Seeing
happened?
that boy's eyes wanting food, I couldn't help but say yes.
So you went
I have a
out
son.
in the middle of the night?
Yeah, I figured there is probably a few stragglers that are near the village around this time of night.
Okay.
It wasn't my first time doing it. I knew my spot, but then I got ambushed and I woke up in the cavern.
Okay. When you woke up in the cavern, do you remember seeing anything? Like, we spotted the guy who performed the ritual, but is there anyone else that was there?
It was very dark. I couldn't see anything, but
Did you hear
I
anything?
could yeah, actually, I presumed what to be the things, the tieflings. They were laughing maniacally, shouting, and they just crazy. They were saying like they needed to do this, or
Mm-hmm.
they needed to do this, or else they'd feel pain, and that from this they'll feel pleasure, or something like that.
Okay.
And then after that, they grabbed me and then knocked me out.
Okay. So in between the time that you were still conscious, anything else that's worth mentioning besides all this?
I don't know. I'm trying to remember.
It's okay.
I heard many voices at first, and then they got picked off. Like they were gone. It's like there were 4 of them, and then after a few minutes, there were only 3. Only it was left to 2.
Okay. So they were 4. Okay, interesting. Just out of character speaking, we only spotted one guy, right? When we first entered the cave.
What you spotted 3 dead tiefling bodies.
Yeah.
Interesting. Did they sacrifice themselves?
Yeah.
Sure, I wonder.
True. Alright, worries not. You'll see your family soon.
Since you're talking to Mizaki, he just says, "Do you have a cloak?"
As a matter of fact, I do. And I grab onto a coke in my traveling, bags.
Yeah, he like puts it on, and he seems more calmer now as he's like has something to hide his appearance. Like specifically, he tries to put the hood over his horns.
Yeah.
And he's able to a bit, but a bit struggling because the horns
Yeah.
is about to poke through the hood.
Yeah, it's jagged.
But he makes do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys go back to town, and at this point, it seems like all the villagers have gathered what they can from the rubble.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, like all the wood, stone are like put to the side, cleaned off. You see that like the few builders that were present in the village have their work cut out for them, as now they probably have work that would last for a year.
Yeah, definitely. Oh man.
And although their life is a bit more secured now,
Mm-hmm. True.
and
Nothing with the broken window fallacy.
and at this point, I guess for a time check, you see you guys are in the early like afternoon, like 1 to 2 p.m. like, and actually wait, did you? Oh no, you arrived at noon when you went to the mine, so 3 to 4 o'clock more like. Sorry.
More like.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you guys see the same like leader of the militia guy type of guy, and
The
knows you
captain,
guys
the local
and-
captain.
yeah, the local captain, like looks like he's getting a bit really stressful right now, as seemingly he has to delegate many tasks.
Mm-hmm.
He knows you guys and says, "You're back." Well, he looks towards the hooded figure, and then he figures he'll let you explain it. And so, did you get him?
As a matter of fact, we did. Yeah, but like half, I guess. There's something that happened, and if we could, we would like to tell the people about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Then he just points towards the tavern and says that yeah, they're still having their meeting.
Still? Okay. Elders. I sighed and said elders. Just like that. Yeah.
Just like says under his breath, like age, just like he like just says, if only one elder was leading us down, I'd have got more things done. And like he realizes you guys are around.
I actually not in agreement. But anyway, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, they're still having their meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God for Veal for being there. If it wasn't for him, the meeting would last for another decade.
Yeah.
Age begets experience.
Yeah.
And
Too much
many
nagging.
anecdotes.
Yeah, too much
Too
nagging.
much anecdotes. I bet you they're telling way back when I was a kid stories.
Yes.
Yeah, That's like their argument. Like back when I was a kid, that's their whole like
Yeah.
shtick. Like this is the reason why we do this, because when I was a kid, you
Yeah.
know, that was basically there.
All right.
The guard still looks a bit unsatisfied. Looks towards the hooded figure and says, "Well, are you going to tell me who this is?"
Well, if you want to find out, you're welcome. More than welcome to join us into the tavern. We figured that actually we kind of need you there as well, because
Oh,
yeah.
okay. And like, he looks towards one of the guards,
Mhm.
gives him the order, like, okay, you better tell this guy to do this and that.
Yeah.
Make sure these men are relieved of their duty, and are they still on their break? Smack them on the head, and he just walks.
3
with
times
you.
over. But anyway,
And
yeah.
You guys continue
Mhm.
to the tavern, and exactly as you guys enter the door, back in my day, the way the village was managed, and they notice you guys.
Yeah.
You guys enter, everyone looks to you, and Veal is there wearing like armor, like he probably went on a patrol in
Mhm.
between like in the meetings, and says, "You're back.
Yes.
I assume it was a success."
In your day, no one got anything done, huh?
Oh my god.
What? What?
You heard me.
That's not how you talk to your elders. And like
that's
he's
exactly how I
about to
talk
stand
to
up.
weaklings.
He's about to stand up, realize that he can't stand up without his stick, and sits back down.
All right.
And Veal looks embarrassed, but sadly he knows it's true. They got nothing done that much because of these two.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Well, before we start, everyone should sit down. Everyone. This is not for the faint of heart. Yeah.
everyone sits down.
Alright.
The captain stands up and then seeing as everyone sits down, looks to you and says, may I sit down too?
Yeah, sure. You should.
And once he sits down, he's it's probably the first time he's
Yeah.
the entire.
Yeah.
All right.
He's gonna be out of his suit real soon.
Yep. The upcoming news can be a little bit shocking. So
So
just brace yourself, and I just carefully, remove.
Before you remove it,
Okay.
Lauren just wants to say that quickly before you remove it. Good news is we found the villagers. The
Yes.
bad news is the escaped slaves from the last town. What's the last town called again? I don't remember.
You say that out loud.
Oldgate, no, I don't say that.
No, just kidding.
Oldgate, the escaped
Yeah,
slaves from
Oldgate.
Oldgate
Yes.
had decided to use them as part of a demonic ritual. We stopped said ritual.
I expect to hear a lot of in the background.
basically a demonic ritual.
Yeah. They,
Just rolled her
sacrificed
eyes.
all but one of the townsfolk,
Yes.
and the one and the hunter fellow was the one they did not sacrifice that we were able to save.
Yeah, but
However,
the
they
magic
had
mutated
changed
him. Yes, in a way. And
The
I.
elders just look.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look scared. Everyone's on the edge of their seat. What do they mean?
I
Mutated.
I carefully
Back, Jack.
remove his hood and the cloth. It's like, brace yourself. I whispered to the hunter. Yep.
Yeah.
And I removed the cloth.
And
Extra sound effect.
yeah. And everyone just it's not even a gasp. Rather, they're shocked.
They're
just
quiet.
See what they're as a tiefling, and then to break this tension, a child just comes running, grabs his leg, and says, "Dad, you're back!" He just hugs his leg, and
No.
but then you see one of the villagers immediately grab the son and forcibly move him away from the tiefling, and everyone just looks at him. Even you guys remember that woman from the the carriage group you guys had, right?
Yes.
Yep.
We do.
She's the wife. If I forgot to mention that before.
Mhm.
She's a bit more she's shocked, but then ultimately goes over, gives him a hug. At least she tries to, until the other men from the village stop her in her place, and Veal he tries to tell the men to move away and let them unite as a family, but the elders just overrule his orders. Says, "No, you make them stay right there." And he stands up and says, "So you're telling us one of our villagers has become one of those things?"
Civ squints.
Yep.
The magic may have changed him on the outside, but deep down he's still the same person.
How can you be
Not
sure
just-
of that?
Down. He's just the same person.
Yes. On the inside.
Having horns and a tail doesn't make you evil. Your actions make you evil.
Well said, Mewtwo.
Yeah, well said. Well said.
Like one of the elders just stand up and says, and just says, "So that's what you think, young lady? You have been
Shut up,
disrespectful to
old
us."
man!
Extra sound effect.
And the other elder just like is not taking anymore. He like grabs his stick and like smashes it to a nearby table and looks towards the captain and says, "Take her out now."
I look at the
And,
captain.
like the captain just like stands up, puts his hands like like just says, "We can just leave the tavern. We don't. Please, I don't want to fight you guys."
Before he touches
like
her,
that.
can
It's a
I
good
can I
idea.
make can I do minor illusion to make voices appear in the tavern, yelling, "No, she's right."
Nice. Do it.
Do it.
Sure, go ahead.
I do that.
Hmm.
Just look
And like, and then where this noise
just like they're yelling, "No, she's right." Then a woman yelled, "He's still one of us."
Ooh. Nice.
and as that shout is like from like the back of the crowd where no one knows, everyone just like looks towards that noise, and seemingly they can't pinpoint the source.
Mm-hmm.
Some like people just look at each other
And I now go forward, looking to everybody. People can hear the voices in here. People can see that they agree, but they're too afraid to answer because some old men sit here in front of us all, deciding what's good and what's proper. Can we fucking agree to that? Yeah, I say. As I step forward, the closer I step to the man, the louder my voice gets.
Ooh. Nice.
Can we not see he's one of us? Can we not see he's one of us who will protect, one of us who has gathered you food for years? Do you not agree? I point to one of the men nearby.
Ooh. Nice.
and yeah. No, like he just looks shocked you point towards him, even though he hasn't said anything. Like he looks, "Why me?"
And I look, ask him, haven't you gotten food from the last over the last couple of years? Hasn't this been your only hunter?
He nods, doesn't say a word.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you agree. Look, even your own people here agree with me. This is a stupid trial.
And
He's a
yeah,
first
continue.
man, not a bad man.
Persuasion.
Comparison. And then in comparison, what have these old men done in the last few years, except for bickering?
I look back. We need to overthrow them.
Shrugs.
Persuasion.
Persuasion with advantage, right? He's doing a really good speech.
Disadvantage. I don't really care.
No,
Yeah, I'm just
advantage.
going to.
No, it's persuasion flat, but there's a bonus that you won't know. It's gonna affect certain people, but it won't work for certain people. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like,
The angry
they're
elder
deeply
also.
embedded,
Yeah.
into their. But if it's a really good persuasion, you might shake them a bit.
It is
And-
a really good persuasion.
And as one of the old men
It's
just sit
actually-
down and he puts down his staff and just says, "I think we have to lay this down. They are correct.
Yeah.
He's one of our own." And the other old man just looks towards him, just says like, you just want to say that because you want to go against me. And don't you understand? For years, centuries, decades, tieflings have destroyed human culture and raided us. Bandits. We can't just let one in because they were turned. For all we know, he has been a tiefling all this time. And this split the room literally into half, where villagers are now uncomfortable sitting behind the elder they've been supporting, and they switch, and half are divided.
Oh, I knew it.
Well, I'm
No.
going to go to be angry to the guy who's spitting fire. The angry elder who's saying, you're just saying this because you just want an argument.
Yes.
I'm going to ask him, how has he been hiding his horns and his tail this whole time?
And he just looks like, I don't know, magic, tiefling magic, dark magic.
Tiefling magic.
Wasn't he kidding?
Oh.
I mean, they blew up our village.
I'm going to look and say, and you ate his food.
Mm,
And besides, I add to the note a step forward and says, he was the one who tries to go out at night, help you defend this town. That's why he was caught. That's why he's transformed into this.
Yeah, I'm going to make an anecdote.
Wait,
here.
Robin, just a reminder though, I'm not sure if you remember, he was out to get food for his son, not defend the city.
Okay, I thought, but wait, in the cavern, didn't he say he was out to, help the town? I thought it was like,
No, he said like his son was hungry during the night and he wanted some food.
okay,
Alright.
I misunderstood. I take that back. Rewind.
Unless no one knows that he went out to get some food. Only a few certain people do. So if you want to make that deception check, if you want to, or you can pull it back.
I will pull it back before I make it worse.
Alright,
I'll make it back. I thought it was,
to say
yeah.
to the elder
Yeah.
that in the warrior brotherhood I belong to, the Sons of Thunder, as people get older, what they did in battle, their experiences are that they're respected for that, but they're still expected to go out and contribute something for the group. What has this old fellow contributed besides anecdotes?
So
What has he
not-
contributed in recent days?
The people at that man's side look at each other and they just whisper, like you can hear like, well, he did so much for us. He led our village and like they're just talking, and then they said, but he hasn't really done much. He just told us what to do. And like that like
Yeah,
it's
like
you plant
indecisive.
a seed of doubt within their mind.
It's one thing if he tells you what to do and he actually participates. There was in Sons of Thunder, there was one old guy had like no head, was completely bald, big long white beard. But every time he said, "All right, it's time to go out and kill some orcs," he was right there on the front lines, swinging his axe away, laughing. He ultimately didn't. That ultimately proved to be his downfall, though. He did not die when an orc killed him. He was too good of a warrior for that. He had a heart attack right in the middle of killing an orc. But even then, he did not let himself die until he finished killing that orc demon.
Are you lying? I can't tell.
No,
I think
no.
this is more of a story.
Yeah, it's more of a legend. This is something of a legend they're telling about one of the older members.
Okay.
But it is true. You are, if you're a member of the Sons of Thunder, you are expected to keep fighting unless you've been badly crippled.
Like the Vikings.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
At this point, yeah, the old man you're talking to looks like he's hard pressed to say anything, but like one like really young man like speaks from the crowd. He's just he it seems like he's not doing this out of malice, but out of pure fear. He just says, "But." Like he just says, well, I think he looks towards like the people beside him and says, we're just scared. We don't want the same thing to happen again.
I understand. I understand why you look to a voice of experience
Yes.
for guidance.
Yeah.
But these times are not normal times. This is... Everyone needs to chip in
Yes.
and do their part to get through this. Even old fellows like this guy. And sitting around sharing stories about back in your day aren't going to help because this isn't your day anymore. This is a new day.
And
And if you want to help, the best thing for you to do is to go out, is to try to learn how things are working in this new day and age.
and you say that, and the crowd stays silent for a
Mm-hmm.
few good seconds, and you see a familiar blue dragonborn come out of the crowd
Mm-hmm.
and says, "Well, like it seems like he's very like, I guess, shy in this situation, timid to say
Mhm.
anything,
Mm-hmm.
but he works up the courage to say it anyway." He says, "You've even I just like to say that, yeah, he should stay. You welcomed me, even though I." And he looks towards himself. "I'm a dragonborn. Yeah, I just because we're different, or we seem to do our race seems to do things that are bad. Not all of us are. I mean, I haven't done anything, right?" And he looks towards Veal.
Mm-hmm.
Veal just nods, looking very proud that the Hayden's now finally saying something, and
Yeah.
says, he just says, "But I still like to thank you. Still welcomed me, or at least you still allowed me to be here. So I don't see why he shouldn't be allowed to. Yes, he was a member, and he should still be a member, right?"
It's true.
And everyone from the other old, like basically the mad old man, just they like nod and they stand up and join the other side. Most of them. Only a
Okay.
select few stay with the other guy. And the more accepting old man just stands up and says, "I think this is not our time. They are right." And the guy just doesn't respond. Throws down his stick, tries to walk away, but realizes he can't walk
I
with
can't walk with
grabs
it.
his stick. Grabs his stick.
His stick for him.
Oh my
He
god.
picks-
I'm gonna pick up a stick and give it to him and say, "This may not be your time, but what you learned in your time may have some bearing on what's happening now. Go out, learn what's happening now, and then use that. Then see if it squares up with anything you've already experienced. And if it does, that's great. If not, well,
Try to adapt.
I've always found the best way to learn is by doing."
Yeah.
Yeah, he just spits towards the floor and like grabs the stick and walks away. Everyone else just looks awkward, but you can tell it's obvious that they still stayed to his side because of fear rather than, but they just nod and like just stay where they are. And this point, like the wife and the son just go to him and just give him a good big old hug and welcome him back. And like the wife just says, "See, I told you not to go out at night. I told you." And just like, well, our son was hungry, and they just keep, they just talk, celebrating that they're still together. The accepting old man just stands up and says, "I'm sorry for our indecision for the entire day. There are just very few things that you can do when your mind has been set on what was taught since you were a child. There is not really any case to like human turned tiefling.
I'm sure there is,
we're
just not this far out here."
Yes.
Definitely.
Even so,
Anyway.
not every tiefling is bad or evil. Neither
There
is every
is-
dragonborn.
Huh.
There is
I look at Civ for the first time. Like, interesting.
She tilts her head, looking at you.
Yeah.
I never was racist. I just don't like weaklings who can't protect themselves.
Squint. That's it.
there is truth. There is truth.
Yeah.
There is truth in that statement. But
Yeah.
it's just like a culture. It's hard, and but you have opened my eyes. And he looks towards the new tiefling of the village.
Mm-hmm.
Says, well, uh, Leonard, I'm sorry. Will you still stay with us? And he nods immediately. Of course he's gonna stay. And he looks towards you four and says, like, well, thank you. You have helped this village more than you should ever do for a normal village like us. And as discussed, we have made a reward for you. And he grabs a pouch, giving everyone 25 gold each.
Mm-hmm.
Not 100. I think that was an alternate. That was an alternate universe where
Yeah.
they were rich.
Where gold pieces are worth nothing, you know.
Yeah. The gold, it really inflated.
Nice.
Anyway, he just says, well, thank you. Seeing as he won't be here for a while, I guess I will take charge. But with the help of others, of course. And
Yes.
he looks towards Veal and the captain. And, well, we'll do our best. And he looks towards Veal. Is it alright if we welcome them? The mic cut. He just says, well, Veal, if these people are once again back in our village, they will live for free. Get accommodations for free for as long as they live. Is that alright? Then Veal just nods immediately. Says, of course. And he just looks towards you four again and says, you'll be welcomed as heroes every time you're here. And he just smiles and sits down after standing up for so long. He's quite old. And he just says,
Oh, my back.
yeah, basically. He just says, well, age is definitely catching up on me.
Yes.
Alright, and I'm going to say, I at least would like to stay, but we have a long trip ahead of us. We need to get to the elves. We're still trying to figure out what's been going on recently. We believe the elves may have the answer.
What a noble task. And, well, I wish you safety in your journey. And everyone just nods and, they say thank you, not really in unison, just on their own, terms, saying, yeah, wish you well, things like that.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, I guess we're still inside the tavern, and everyone's leaving
Yeah.
at this point.
Everyone is breaking off. Some are gonna help out
Mm-hmm.
with the repairs. The captain slowly stands up from his really thank God for a break moment, and goes back to work.
Yep.
And you see the family of Leonard. He personally thanks all of you, and the kid with his wooden sword says he said something along the lines of hey, since you saved my dad, I'll make sure to save all of you in the future.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
goes
a little
down to the
small
same
flat right
height
now.
as him. I kind of and just said pat on his head and says, well, you'll need to work really hard, and maybe one day. Foreshadow. Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Eh.
We don't know. And I
And,
just look at Leonard and just pat him on the shoulder. It's like, yep.
Yeah. And Hayden tries to staying at the
Mm-hmm.
outskirts of this crowd, and he constantly looks at you for. You guys can tell he probably wants to talk to you guys, but doesn't have the confidence to initiate the conversation.
All right. I noticed that, and I just said, all right, follow me. I'll walk you outside.
And he says, he just like nods and says, if it wasn't for what's his name? Was it Adrian? Yeah, if it wasn't for him, and you guys talking, I wouldn't have mustered the confidence to say anything. Thank you.
I nod at him and just says, at least we're glad to save you guys, you and your family from the trauma. And, let's just hope you live a good life after this. I hope. Yeah.
He like nods and says, well, maybe I won't get so much strange looks now.
Yeah.
You will.
You might, but on the bright side, you might pick up something new. You know?
And like as you guys are talking about that, you see the kids just being energetic, running around. Then he like out of his like energetic mood, he just runs into Hayden and like ow, and like Hayden's like, oh, I'm sorry, and like he picks him up, and he picks him up rather easily. You realize that he's actually really strong.
Huh.
Like you can see that like once like he's wearing like really like thick clothing, and once that thick clothing like moves out of it, you can see he has like probably like 70% of Orient's muscles.
Okay. So 6 packs.
Oh.
And yeah, he's strong, but not as strong as Orient. I'll just say
Okay.
that. And
Okay.
he says,
4
I'm sorry, he picks him up, and then the kid realizing how easily he was picked up, says, like, oh, you're strong, and then he's like, and he like looks around and then realizes that, hey, this is a mercenary group. It's like, wait, did you fight before? And then Hayden just like says yes, and it's like, oh, can you teach me? And like the blue dragonborn looks embarrassed, looks towards the family, looks back to him, and ask your parents first. And can I? And they just continue on, and eventually being pestered and he's being persistent, he says yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
And time passes by. Or do you guys want to leave immediately before that happens?
No.
Take a long rest.
Yeah, we
and
take a
then
rest.
Okay.
At some point, I would like to go back to the Black Dragonborn.
Yeah, he's been waiting outside, and you're surprised that after a long time you guys been in the tavern, he just chose to stay outside rather than just leave.
leave.
Like he's just sitting down off to the side. Well, he has his necklace now. He has no reason to stay.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just stays. He just stays by the wall, like near the tavern. Realizes you got outside. It's like, hey.
Hi.
Hi. So sassy.
I started smiling with a very, fuck you, I'm the best thief around. As I lift up his necklace.
Oh, snap.
He looks at his, like, fiddles around with it, looks confused, like, wait, what?
Here, let me. I say as I reach over and grab his necklace and crush it in my hand, it just crumbles to dust.
What?
Wow.
And like he looks towards you, really confused. Then he just says, "Using magic. That's not fair."
Cheating?
I'm gonna shrug. I am the thief that stole from the Thief of Kings, or at least his descendant.
He like smiles and, oh, I see where you're going with this. And well, since you like telling stories and all, sure, it's legit.
I smile and nod at him. Oh, next time try and see if you can find anything cool.
Yeah, maybe the next time we meet, I have something to show off and not get caught after jumping out a window.
Teach a man to fish
One can
and
only
you feed
hope,
him for a day.
Yeah.
Teach him.
Yeah.
take a man's fish, tell him he's lucky to be alive, and he'll find a way to catch a fish for you to take tomorrow.
Yes.
He like looks towards the necklace and say, "Well, rules from my part of the clan anyway is that if you steal something from me and you show that you stole it, I can't really get it back."
Nice, I didn't know that was a thing. I just wanted to come and brag.
Well, it proves that you're capable and you outsmarted me.
Yeah. I thought, by the way, you should come in and have. What time is it? I look up. I don't know.
It's like it's sunset. He just says, "Yeah, it is," and he just says, "Well, I can't really stay. I don't think they want me to stay here." And he looks around, making sure no one's around, goes nearer to you and says, "Well, seems like you, don't hate us. Well, you don't hate us more than others. If you see more, I guess, dragonborn or tieflings that don't know where to go, tell them to go here." And like he grabs he has like a scratched like parchment, like it's ripped out, but there's a makeshift map there, and a really like small but I guess okay map of Midgard.
Showing the blind man a map.
He doesn't know he's blind. I think. Did you not
True.
mention him that? And like he looks up these like it's right over here, and he like points towards something you can't see.
I stare at him for a second and nod, and I just yell, "Sack!"
What?
I just yell, "Sack!" as loud as I can.
And he like anyway just if they don't have a map, just tell them to head to I guess like he looks so confused like
Dude, I'm blind.
oh
Yeah, I can't.
wait, you're blind?
Why do you think I'm going around with my eyes closed?
Wait, your eyes were closed? And like he hasn't realized up to this point. So wait, you stole his gold coin without seeing anything?
Gotta shrug, the best thief around. By the way, don't say that aloud.
Double snap.
And like he like at this point he fully believes he's been outdone. Like, oh man, why didn't they teach me anything? Now I feel like I'm behind. And he said anyway, just tell them to look for the Haven. Ask different dragonborn tiefling, everyone, all of us know the Haven, and we usually know where it is. It's a small town off the outskirts of the wilderness where it's a safe haven for us. That's where I'm heading after this, actually.
Oh. Cool. I quickly let my hand run down my body as I ask, Bowie, did you have a weapon?
Well, they took it from me. Not that I had much anyway.
I see, as I pat myself a bit more. And I take out my hand axe. You should probably take something then.
Well, thanks. And like he just holds it, and like he just swings it around. Like he's not used to like a hand axe, but he can make do with it. And he puts it on like his makeshift belt and says, "Well, thanks. I'll make sure to spread the word around about a blind thief that it's not so hard on us dragonborn and tieflings."
Nice.
I go away shaking my head. Thief.
Flying thief part. Yes. That's what matters. The last part. That's what matters.
Well, quite surprised I didn't die by the end of that cave, the whole cave thing. Anyway, I don't want to talk about it. I'll be heading off.
Yep. I'd like to see the Haven at some point. Sounds entertaining.
See the
Totally
haven.
not a late plot point you guys are going to. Anyway, let's go.
Alright.
I don't know how well integrated it will be, but we'll see depending on your action. So
Yeah.
he like nods and like looks left and right. He tries to walks off. He walks off, and then one of the guards steps in front of him, and then he says he's free, and then they're like, but then the guards just walk away ultimately, and he just goes off.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's nice.
That's really nice.
And anyway, is there anything else you guys would like to do? And
I don't think there's much else we can.
Yeah.
How
I
many
would like
people
to
are in the
leave.
tavern tonight?
I think most well, except for the regulars and the people that have to stay in the tavern, most families that still have their houses are staying within their houses. I think they just tired, they're not really up to drinking. But it's the tavern is at least halfly packed, like 50% of the room has been taken.
Okay.
Did you want to do something, Charm?
No.
I just thought you said something.
I-
Never mind.
Nah. Sif just wants to leave as soon as possible.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still above half elf. Again, it's middle of the night. Can I go and tell some stories?
Do what? Sorry?
Can I go and tell some stories?
Of course, you can always tell stories.
Yes.
He's a bard.
He
It's
is.
called.
Whatever.
It's declared. All right.
I mean, he
And,
always tells stories. He's a bard.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So I guess we
Yeah,
have a
everyone's in for
long
listening.
rest. Yeah.
Yep, everyone has a long rest, and then it's just real performance. See how much if you actually earn anything from your performance.
Ta-da! He's a bard.
Yeah, something alright.
You earn like 6 silver pieces and 4 copper pieces.
Fucking money.
The greatest blind thief bard you'll ever meet.
Yes.
And the sun is rising once again, first light. And you guys get ready. You guys go down. You guys are about to leave, but Veal just before you guys leave, kind of thing. He just goes over and says, "So, you guys are leaving already?"
Yes, we are.
As I said, we have to make it to the elves.
Well, you're heading in that direction.
Yes.
Should be 2 days out, but in between there's expect how do you would say this? No harm when traveling there. And like he grabs like a map of the region, and like he follows the road from Varkstead to the Alflin Kingdom. There's a forest in between Alflin and here. It's a Gefjun skog. It's a divine forest that is guarded by Gefjun's creatures. No evil is there, and they accept travelers. You'll be fine.
Okay, good. I'm still taking Mjolnir Junior with me though.
Yeah, of course. Safety. And if you ever, in the area, please come by.
Yes, we'll definitely pay a visit. Thank you for your hospitality. We must be on our way. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Maybe you can make Hayden say a few more words than he would say in a month.
I chuckles. Yeah.
Maybe we could let his actions speak louder than his words.
Definitely.
Definitely. All right.
Anyway,
We
see ya.
ride the horses and be on our way. Ta-da.
So,
We got horses. Nice.
Yay!
We got horses.
Horses. All right.
and makes the trip faster. And nothing really happens after a day of traveling. It's night. You arrive to this you arrive to the outskirts of the forest, and you see that there are a bunch of fireflies going around and stuff like that. Even though
Fairyland.
it's really dark, it's like in the forest they're like enough like fireflies to illuminate the forest so that it's dim light.
Mm-hmm.
So like even if you walk into the forest, it's not utter darkness. And as you guys continue into the forest, you see out to the side, actually, true to the picture itself, you see a blue like stag come out with like horns that extend outward and fairly big. Realizes you guys are here and says, "Are you seeking refuge too?"
Refuge.
No, we're just passing through.
We are. Huh.
I see. Well, do you wish to rest here until the new day?
Until the new day. What does the?
Because it's evening.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh, I thought it was like something metaphorically. All right. We travel how long? A whole day
like,
right now?
It's already evening. Yeah.
Okay. And I nod, I guess. I look around to my, comrades and says, "Well,
Sounds good.
sounds good." All right. I nod to the buck. Yeah.
Well, he nods and says, "All right, follow me." And like you see, like there's a lot of different paths throughout the forest, and he takes you to the right side, and he just says, like he says, just excuse the tightness we have here. Villagers from other villages have came here for refuge. Apparently, it's been chaotic around Midgard and the kingdom,
Yep.
so they rather stay in our forest.
I
Well,
can see that.
yeah. Chaos everywhere. But
And you see, like, as you guys are walking through this part of the path, you see, like through the trees, you can see that, I guess, like, there's an opening kind of bit. You see, like, three, like, golden wolves just going around patrolling the forest.
Wolves. My eyes turn brighter as I see the wolves.
And you guys continue going through, and you guys are now like what seems to be like the center of this entire like forest, and you see like a small like temple erected in the middle, and like a clearing like around it, and you see that there are like tents set up, and people sleeping, and are actually the atmosphere here is way different from the village when you first entered Varkstead. Seemingly, they feel much more safer here, and like they're just resting. And
That's nice.
he said, the stag just says, "Well, feel free to stay here." And like he looks towards like the left, to his left, to like a small clearing for like enough for you four.
Okay. I nod and it just goes to our spot, I guess.
Yep.
Yep. Nod and goes to our spot.
Yep.
All right.
That's good.
As you guys are setting up, you see that a relative middle-aged man wearing like different like furs and stuff like that comes over and says, seems like we have new people around the area." And he like just walks over, and so I heard you're passing through.
We are travelers on the road. What about you? Heading home
And,
or somewhere?
This is my home.
Okay.
I am the leader of the temple of the goddesses of restoration.
Ah.
That's what the temple is devoted to. In fact, the whole forest is devoted to them.
That's good.
That is good. So you safekeep the travelers around here?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Have you noticed any, sightings around this area of unusual creatures?
By unusual creatures, do you mean by the Draugr?
Yes.
Well, not so much around the forest. I think the forest divinity is able to stop those things from spawning here. But we do have creatures roaming around. We have the wolves and the stags, and a few more I'm not able to mention.
Hmm. Okay.
Well, it's unusual for, I guess, people just to be passing through in these times of chaos. Where are you heading to?
The Elflands. We got
I see.
some matters to attend to over there. Yes. Well, through the land. Yes.
Well, I hope you do stay safe. But I guess my interaction with you is not really just for pleasure. I do have something to say to and looks towards
Orin, I guess.
Orin. He grabs something from his pack and says, one of the messengers from you could say from the gods just came here and told me to give this to you.
Orin,
it has,
it's your call.
I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah.
Just
It
kidding.
has like the Sons of Thunder logo on it. He gives it to you.
Alright, what is it?
And they basically updates you about the whole situation in Valhalla, that all the gods and goddesses are moving around doing things. Although they're very selective to what you know. What you do know is that two gods are gonna help under the Sons of Thunder, which is Ulir and Vali,
Okay.
and that the Sons of Thunder are really having their hands full with everything. Like they are everywhere at this point, trying to make sure Midgard's not gonna fall into anarchy, basically.
Oh, goody.
So,
Goody.
just-
Is there
it's
any
just
more
an up-
reports of Draugr?
Uh,
Because I don't know
Well,
about
although
those
Draugr-
monsters yet.
they do mention Draugr incidents are not common. Yours was probably an uncommon occurrence, but they have to go around seemingly as crime rates around Midgard have increased. Seemingly
Okay.
for what reason?
Goody. Which one of us here is the avatar of Loki again?
The avatar of Loki?
Yeah, I believe it's Adrian. So we're gonna start cracking him upside the head and shouting at him, "Get your people under control, man!"
And
I know. Okay, so it's
He does
crime,
say,
anarchy, and chaos running around right now.
and you see this man just looks like he nods and then looks towards you, Civ. He says, there's someone that wants to meet you. Your name is Civ, yes?
Indeed so. Who would want to meet me? Did they state a name?
Yes, they stated you. And
How
they wish,
did they look like?
and he looks rather, he's thinking about how to put this into words and says, she says she has a message for you. She said it's really important.
Fine. What did she say?
Well, it concerns your family.
She
Do you want
Comes
us
a
to
bit
give you a
closer.
privacy? A little bit of privacy?
please do.
Okay. I walk to the side.
Well, she isn't there. She's like that. Actually, she was gonna lead Civ to her rather than bring her to here,
Okay.
so it's fine. And Civ, he brings you towards the temple itself and brings you to like the normal guess you could say mass room where like it's just where they have their mass and things like that, where they have the statues of the goddesses of restoration and having like you see Gefjun has the biggest like statue as she was the leader or like the basically the goddess that took the head front of restoring Midgard, and you see all the other goddesses symbols off to the side, and he doesn't make you stay here. You actually go around the back to somewhere like more private, and he opens the door, gestures you to go in, and he just says, "She's inside," and even I'm not allowed to enter. So he just stays outside, and once you enter, he just closes the door and seemingly leaves. And
Yeah,
inside,
then-
inside this
How-
small room. Oh, sorry. Continue.
It's okay. I just said I'm just going in.
And you see in the middle a woman with brown hair that reaches to her shoulders. She's wearing like what seems to be like a, how would you say this, like a more of like a, what do you call it, like some sort of crown-ish type of deal, like
Tiara?
Yeah.
something like
Exactly.
tiara and something like that, but it's not really a crown. Like it's golden, and she has a shield and spear to her side. She's wearing like what seems to be like chainmail, and she turns around. Her face, although it's like it's clear, but her face is completely neutral, and she says, he just says, well. Should I call you Civ, or should I call you by your true name?
Whatever you prefer. Do I know that person?
You do not know this person.
Okay. Would you mind to introduce yourself?
Well, I am Sin, the goddess of rejection and refusal. Assistant to Vidar himself.
What?
She tilts her head a bit. Someone said you
Brother-
have a message to me from my family, or about my family.
Yes, it is about your family. We've been watching over you ever since you left your family. And let's say things back home aren't exactly ideal. And the
How
reason why
so?
let's just say the reason why this concerns us is because you saw it yourself, the Draugr, and we've been trying to get as much allies we need, and not for you to know, but I have to say, for you to understand completely the direness of the situation, the elves are refusing our messengers, and the dwarves are too busy doing their own thing. The humans, specifically the Starks, they have been in a conflict ever since you left.
Because I left. Well, it wasn't my choice, but I
Not-
had to.
Not so much of you leaving, but because your father is sick, and a power vacuum has started within the family.
My father is sick.
Yes.
She sits down for a moment now, looking at the goddess.
Well, I understand that this is maybe too much for all at once, but I ask you that you should stay with me.
Stay with you.
There's still more for me to say.
I wasn't about to leave.
Well,
Please continue.
I like to be polite. And she says, well, usually you'd think your mother would be fine with taking up the mantle of ruler, but let's just say a brother of yours did not allow that. I'm pretty sure we both know who we're talking about.
She nods, and her face just kind of turns a bit sour.
And although news hasn't spread to the outskirts to like a village like Varkstead, in the cities near the capital, your brother is not exactly the most forgiving.
He never was.
He has been, let's say, destroying relations between not only the elves, the dwarves, but even humans within the kingdom, seemingly for power. And anyone that rises against him will be executed. Now, why would I tell you all this? Well, because, frankly, we need the humans' help, and we're not gonna do it with your brother ruling. We need someone else.
And you expect me to make up with the dwarves and elves for my brother?
Not make up for him, rather, once, let's say, in the very near future, that your brother has been dethroned, and you seemingly have to take up the mantle, I ask that you cooperate with us.
And she nods. I mean, it's not his to take anyways, but I need to get
Well-
stronger so I can actually lead the country.
And
I am not worthy of my father's name just yet.
well, you read my mind. And she just says, she looks outside, like the small window here, and says, continue on with your path. For there will be definitely dangers that lie in wait in the future, but they'll make you stronger. And you'll be soon be ready to go against your brother.
So I should just continue traveling, avoiding my brother for now.
Yes. We'll
But I
contact
do
you
not
if
like.
things change.
That would be great. I do not like the thought of my brother ruling the country just as he pleases. This is not the way my father wanted this country to be. She shakes her head, looks at the goddess. What about his sickness? Can anything be done about it?
And the goddess pause. Pause. Long pause. And pause. More silence. Yeah. But man, that's harsh.
Justin dead.
Yeah, he's the goddess is probably offline. Your server has
Please.
currently offline. Please connect later.
Please hold the line.
Yes.
Your goddess will be back in a
Shortly.
minute now.
Yes.
God, she's gonna fucking kill her brother.
Yeah. She's gonna do a goddess might and just wipe your brother off the face of the, well, realms. Smite! And you're gone.
Her brother is like fucking human version of Loki.
You mean handsome and cunning?
Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Sorry. My dad
Welcome
entered
back.
the room.
Welcome back.
I might have to go back and help him in a bit, but
Yeah.
I have like a few minutes. No,
Goddess,
it won't
back
take long,
online.
It's just real.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm back online. Where was I? Where was my data last seen? Sorry.
She asked if her father can be healed in any way. If it was a severe sickness.
Well, let's say that his sickness is not by chance. There's very little
Not-
we can do without interrupting the whole, with us interrupting the kingdom in a very significant matter.
And my mother, is she safe? At least?
She seems to be safe.
She nods then. If
Well. Sorry, continue.
if that's all.
He
She
just.
seems to be a bit how do I say it?
Depressed? Stressed?
Stressed. In distress, maybe,
Mhm.
yes.
Okay.
She just looks towards the window, looks back to you, and says, "Be careful when you enter Auflin. They're the masters of magic." And she looks towards your ring, looks back to you. Be very
Also-
careful.
They do not like my family. I know.
Well, I didn't dislike your family, nor did I like them, but they did their job. Now with your brother, they lost that likable trait.
She shakes her head. That will be changed as soon as possible.
That's why I'm here. I need to inform you how dire things are. And lastly, Vidar himself is having his eyes on you. I don't know why, but he's been keeping track.
She looks around a bit, looks at the goddess. A bit confused as to why. But she doesn't ask.
She shrugs as well and says, "Well, like I said, I don't know." And that's all I have to say. Do you have any questions?
No. I've
Alright.
asked anything I wanted to ask.
I must head back then. And with a small tap of her spear to the ground, she disappears and
She-
is basically teleports away.
Also, Valda bows quite deeply when she does.
All right.
Hmm.
She gives a small bow back before she teleports as well. And
then heads back to the others.
yeah, the guy just opens the door, nods, bows as well. And during that whole conversation, going back to you three, Zach,
Okay.
you notice a familiar masked man walking towards your group.
Wait.
And he tries to walk off to the side towards your direction, not go to Orin or Adrian. It's your informant back in Holdgate.
All right. I do a slight hand signal, just telling him to go to the other side, and I just kind of tells the other guy saying, "Hey guys, so kind of a personal emergency came up, and I'll be right back. All right, just later."
Hey, go right ahead.
Yep. And I just carefully disguised and run to the other side to make sure that no one's following me and make sure that they don't see where I'm going. Yeah.
Alright.
All right.
You guys go off to the side. And,
Yes.
And he doesn't take off his mask, but he just looks to you and just says, "Well, I didn't think we're gonna meet so quickly after that whole Holdgate incident."
I look at him, not saying a word.
Anyway, how have things been for you?
Exchange word.
Alright, anyway. More than catching up, I do have something to say that is beneficial to you. And somewhat there's also bad news.
I reach for my weapon at this point, and I say again, what are the exchange words?
As the GM looks for the document, the word he was supposed to
Yes,
say.
I'm just carefully inspecting him because I wasn't expecting him to see him here, especially now.
Okay, I'm sorry, I don't have it offhand and remember it by the top of my head, but he does say the exchange words.
Okay, all right. I kind of drags him on the shoulder and says, "Finn, what the fuck?" Why are you doing here? What are you doing here?
Well, you heard from the stags. This is a safe haven.
I know,
there's
but
nowhere else to go.
wait. I thought you were going elsewhere, like further off this land.
Well, I was going towards there until Draugr spawned, and I ran the other direction, and I ended up here.
All right. You sure you're not being followed?
Well,
No one?
That was what I was about to get to. Good news is that the people from the inside are telling me that she is being held up by all the chaos around Midgard.
Thank God.
So she can't really chase you because she has other matters to deal with.
All right. Still waiting. What's the bad news?
Bad news though is that ever since the Draugr incident, the elves have been more strict. I don't think they're accepting any visitors within their kingdom now.
Damn it! God damn it! And normally Zag is really collected, but at this point it's like I'm just waving, kind of like waving my weapons angrily at the emptiness. I was like, all right, get a hold of yourself. All right. So what now? Yeah. Flail your arms in panic! Yeah.
Well,
But anyway, yeah. I was like, so?
Well, although they don't accept people within their kingdom, there are still smugglers.
And I'm
Who
guessing...
smuggle people in and
Yeah.
out.
I'm guessing you have a way for us. Well, for me.
Well, that's really the lucky part. I didn't realize you would be here, so... yeah, I do know a guy.
How many can you smuggle?
Well, he can smuggle any number of people. Just the more people you have, the longer it will take.
Well, there's... Well, are you coming? If you're not, if you rather stay here...
I'm staying here.
Okay. Well, bless you, by the way. I'm talking to out of character. But yeah, I was like, so tell them there will be 4. A total number of 4 coming through.
Alright. I will send a message and says like he looks like he just like looks back to your group, like the direction where your group should be, and says then so you've made friends.
More like partners that are going on the same path. For now, I
Seems like
still
capable
couldn't...
people.
Yes, they are capable. That's the only reason... Well, some of the reasons we're sticking around. For now, I still can't figure out this Adrian guy. Yeah. The others I can tell one way or the
Is he
other.
the guy that keeps his eyes closed?
Yes. Gives
Wait.
me creeps.
Why does he keep his eyes closed?
Because he's blind.
Oh, wait, he's blind?
Yes.
He didn't. Okay.
Yeah, don't underestimate him.
Sure.
And yeah.
Well, he seems. Well, while you're traveling together, so is he alright?
Well, only time can tell. For now, he's the only one I still can't put my fingers on. The others I can tell.
Well,
but, yeah.
Well, you should be alright. Anyway, I'll try to stay here as long as I can, but I know that I have to leave eventually.
Yes. But lay low as much as you can. And
Yeah.
boy, change your fucking costume. You wore the same outfit last time we met. I thought you'd
Not
be more...
exactly.
Yeah. I thought you'd be more
Well,
discreet.
I didn't really have a chance to change anything when freaking dead bodies spawned from the ground and I had to run here.
Just find someone near here, ask for an exchange, something to make you
Yeah.
look something else.
Yeah,
Man,
of course I will.
But man, it's good to see you. And I kind of gives him like a pat on the back. It's like,
he gives the same to you, and
Yeah.
he says, "Well, stay safe." Like he just gives Actually, during this whole conversation, he takes off his mask, but you do know that his face behind the mask.
Yeah.
He takes it off around you anyway, not in public,
Yes.
and he says, like he gives like a smirk and like, "Hey, and if you find it, don't forget to mention me in your, I guess, stories."
Yeah. Well, you'll be the first one to know, and then she'll be next.
Yep.
And you can see the
Oh,
the fierce grin when I say she's gonna be next. Yeah.
And
Alright.
he puts on back his mask and walks off.
Yeah. And I kind of stays there for a while, just making sure that no one else follows him, and then I just moves on. Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
Adrian, here we go. The last one of the session. Everyone's gonna get a piece of this pie. So,
Can I also
Adrian,
talk to a god.
Another god, so many god.
You're not a protagonist.
Yeah.
Sorry.
actually, Dennis is gonna be the most. I guess he'll only get it.
Because
So
everybody
Dennis.
thinks that- Yeah, fair enough.
Basically, basically, Adrian. Ever since you have, okay, I'll be back. Hold on. My dad's calling me again.
And that will be the end of our session. Bye.
No,
Dennis was like, I'm staring at the void. What is happening? Why am I even here? What?
I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't been paying attention for a little while, but seriously, why am I the only one you don't get?
No, for Zach, you kind of have this weird kind of powers that makes you a person that's really hard for him to tell, because he can't figure out if you're good, if you're just neutral, or if you're evil within. I don't know. Like for Zach, it's like really hard to tell.
To be honest, your DM also doesn't know at this point. I don't lie.
Yeah.
He doesn't know too.
Yeah.
He sees the alignment on the sheet, but can't tell if it's true or not.
even the sheet
Even-
lies to you.
Yes.
I'm just doing what my patron god would do.
Yeah, of course.
Wait,
So,
you have a patron god? No.
Wait, what?
What? We have no clue.
and that
We thought you were a bard. That's all.
Adrian, let us
I'm
continue.
cleric.
So they get
Yeah.
what you mean by patron god.
I mean,
Adrian.
you don't need to tell him. Fine with secrets.
No, exactly. Don't worry. But it does. The thing that's about to happen pertains to that.
Okay, cool.
So Adrian, you recall a familiar presence back in your childhood, roaming forests back then and feeling that presence. As you enter this forest, you feel that very same presence again, off deeper within the forest.
That's fucking awesome.
And it seems to be calling out for you.
I look around for a bit, seeing that I'm alone. I was like, oh fuck it, I leave.
Right, you go deeper within the forest, and you go through. You can naturally just. Seems like you can just go there, like nothing is in between you to the thing that you're calling to. And as you walk into, like, what seems to be a smaller clearing, where you can hear the wind like stop against what seem to be like stone walls, and with your feet you can guess you could feel it. You can feel the ruined building, like around this area, and it's a ruin. Seems like somewhat divine in a sense. Definitely a ruin that's familiar to the ones in your forest as well.
I like my hands run over the walls of the place, just drinking in the feelings.
You slide through the through the walls, and you can feel the history within the walls as memories and flashes of what seems to be Valhalla go through within your mind as different gods and goddesses talk back and forth. Dif- although in although inaudible, you can tell they're talking about something important. And then you realize that as you walk to what seems to be the centerpiece of this ruin, that's when in the middle of Valhalla, and where no walls, in the middle stands Baldir, and in you stand with a bow, and what seems to be a twisted man handing you a arrow of green.
Mm-hmm.
You were told to like, this is not you. You're seeing
Yeah,
through this guy's perspective. You know what I'm talking about.
yeah, I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're talking about.
And
So I take the arrow
yep.
and I load it onto my bow, and I aim it to Baldur.
And you shoot.
And I shoot as I yell, "Block this one!"
And suddenly the vision fades, and for a few seconds, your eyes open, and you can see the sights around you. But sadly, you have to close it again,
Mhm.
and you feel. I guess you feel different, like something. It's like building up inside you, and you feel that stories that need to be told, things to be found out, it's going to happen soon. And it will happen soon if you stick around with those three. And you're needed.
I then sit down, leaning against the walls, as I start crying a bit.
Right? Tears go down your face, and seems like the ruins itself seem to comfort you as the air somewhat changes into like a, you can't tell, but it's like it's an intangible, comforting hug around you. This energy, this presence hugs you, and like gives you respite throughout this entire thing.
As I stand up, I say, I might not be great enough to do it yet. I will forgive you. I will make sure they all forgive you. I promise.
And you can feel an answer from this presence, like like in the forms of thank you, and everyone at this point goes back to the camp, seemingly coming from like different sides of this area, and everyone seems to be a bit more serious, from Adrian to Civ and to Zach, while Orin is just sitting there after
Owen's
finishing his
probably
update.
asleep at this point.
He's asleep. You three see each other walk back to the camp at the same time, and yeah.
All right. So I look around
Mm-hmm.
and I look at the others, and I was like, so I tried to sound really delightful, you know. So, anything important? You can share? Anything happen?
None of your business.
Okay. That's
I
great.
mean, I've been told I should probably go with you guys.
So have I been. Not specifically, but that I should continue on traveling.
I look to Orin. Is he still sleeping?
I kind of pat him on the shoulder. Oren.
Yeah, as Owen wakes up and says, What's up?
So, we're just talking about, things. I don't know. Things. So, we are gonna go on towards the Elfland, right?
Yep.
As far as I know, the Elfland is currently cut off to, unwelcome to the outsiders. And,
It's kind of a problem.
making it really hard for outsiders to, traverse inside. Luckily, I know a guy who knows a guy that can get us in.
Oh, good.
So there's that. Yes.
It's pretty fucking fortuitous.
What did you say? Sorry, did you say something?
Yeah, I said, oh, good.
No. I mean Adrian. I look at Adrian and it's like, did you say something?
I said it was lucky.
Yeah, truly lucky. Yeah, just I helped some guy in the back in the past, and he helped me right now.
We helped him in the back, eh?
Yeah. I know what you're thinking, you dirty bard. You're not gonna happen. But anyway, yeah. So I guess we can be on our way.
Sure.
Yeah. It's just one more thing. The way we're about to enter is a little bit, well, let's just call it unconventional. So
What will we have to do? Where do we have to go?
we'll know that by the morning.
So we have time to party tonight.
I guess so.
All right. So you guys do those things at night, and eventually you guys sleep. But the reason why I'm skipping this part is because there's actually an important thing that's gonna happen by the end of this night in a
Okay.
different area.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Somewhere
The world
Not really
burns.
known.
We all die.
not really known to man or even God. There is a well as big, big as a coliseum, and takes up the world tree. Within the area of this well, there seems to be a goddess of absolute beauty, with like red hair and like a green silk dress that's a bit see-through and transparent. And there's another woman as well that holds a spear and shield to her side, following her around this well. And she takes a seat beside the well. And there's what seems to be three other women as well that walk up in front of her and say, the one in the middle says, sorry, hold on, I don't know how to do this voice, so give me a second. Frigg, that man is coming. Hermor is eventually going to find us. Does that mean our plans are set in place? And Frigg, the woman just sitting beside the well, has like within her fingers a strand, a thread, and out of nowhere, like what you would call a tapestry of innately detailed paths and movements are going around her. It's so long as that it goes around the well twice, and she adds that thread and string to the tapestry, moving it more back and forth until it's now added to the tapestry itself. And she says, yes, it's part of the plan. And one of the other women as well, like hunchback, says, well, he's the one that went to Helheim when Baldur died. What are you going to do once he gets here? They need your help. And Frigg just once again just nonchalantly just weaving the thread back and forth, says says he looks towards the third woman that hasn't said anything, saying, "Ask her." And then the two other women just look towards the third one, says,
Mhm.
"Well, that's not fair. Just because she can see the future doesn't mean we can. We shouldn't know." And like they just look towards her, and she doesn't say anything, and says, and Frigg just looks. "Well, I do not know either, but I do have an idea, but I can't tell you just yet." And she keeps, and until now this thread never ends, but by the end of the conversation it does. It's cut off from what, like, from an intangible and like invisible, like,
Mhm.
thread spool that's not there anymore.
I could
It
hear
weaves
the sound of the scissors. That's amazing.
Yeah, like weaves into the tapestry.
Yeah.
And she said, and within the thread that she just put in, she was able to put in 4 figures that seemed to be within the tapestry, from the left to the right, from the start of Ragnarok. And what seems to be by her end seems to be the starting tapestry of the same vision. But instead, there are these 4 figures, and she's done weaving it, and she smiles and says, "The next few events to come by this will be very significant. Let's see how much fate I can weave for these 4." And that's where we're gonna end the night. And because we are at the end of this introduction arc and now heading to the Alflen arc, and after I think everyone can feel it, things are moving. The plot is happening.
Yay.
Therefore, everyone is now level 6.
What?
Not level 6. It's level 5? Level 5.
We level
sorry.
6.
Level 5, I'm sorry. Level 5, yeah.
Wait.
Alright, that's how many?
Wait, is he saying something? I can't hear him. Last thing I heard was we were level 6, right?
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
We're level 6. Yes, I totally heard that. We're level 6.
Regardless of XP, you guys are now level 5.
Okay.
Shit, guys.
6,500.
Yeah.
So we're
I now do a
getting
new
XP
clever.
up.
Yeah.
So we're getting HP up to 65k.
Yep.
Yep, I believe so.
Things are changing.
Things are
Gods,
changing.
gods are on the move.
Yes.
Well,
God. What's my fucking hit dice again? 1d6.
I was 4. 65.
Your sorcerer assumption, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorcerer and not a wizard.
Yeah.
Alright.
Sorcerer.
I mean, when I get a positive fucking con modifier, I'm gonna get so much.
Wait, no,
And
I'm a wizard. I'm so confused right now.
But like seriously, I always feel like Civ is a sorcerer. Like that just started from day one. I don't know why. I always know you're a wizard, but it just feels like you're a sorcerer for no reason.
She's not charismatic enough.
I'm a wizard.
Mm-hmm.
I just rarely get to use my war magic skills because, well, I haven't had to use them yet.
War magic. Yeah.
okay, there we go.
Yeah, you don't have to take hits because there are tanks in the front.
I mean, I can also like use my ability to get my ability modifier up 4 points.
Mm-hmm.
Like not the ability modifier. What did I say? The God, what I was about to say.
Wizard spells? Because you leveled up as level 5, you should get, class features. I'm getting
Yeah.
extra attacks. Ooh la la.
That's what I-
Oh, so you can throw your spear, get it back, and then
Yeah, and throw it again, and then get it back, and then throw it again, and then get it back. Yay! I
That's
love
actually quite
action search. I love action search. It's amazing.
You can throw 2 spears now at the same time.
Well, as a matter of fact, if I do action surge, I just throw 3 spears at the same time. One with my mouth. Yeah. Jab, jab, jab.
The last
Oh
one on your
man,
foot,
I'm
so it's
gonna
4.
I'm gonna be interested between the conversation of Hermor, the messenger, and Frigg. I wonder how that's actually gonna work out. I haven't thought
Yeah.
about it, but
It's okay. Like, you'll work this
Yeah.
out, I have no doubt. This is a really good exchange, by the way. Well done. Bravo. Yeah.
You know what's great? I will have haste now.
Yeah! Finally!
Yeah.
Someone could haste us.
time to haste the barbarian and destroy any encounter difficulty I have.
Yeah, just have him charge into the ground, just like bulldoze over everything. Nice.
Justin.
Guys, would you
Yeah.
like me to control what you dream about?
Now I kind of wish I was
Please.
a sorcerer.
Yeah.
Because I could have used twin spell.
Yeah, and do the haste twice.
Yeah.
Oh, if you can control dreams now? What the hell?
My own thoughts power into the subconscious of others that when they're sleeping, if somebody's sleeping within 30 feet of me, I can pick topic of their dream.
Okay, that's kinda cool.
And creepy.
Oh boy. Just a second.
I can be expressed in no more than three words. They will remember it vividly when they wake up.
You show me the money.
Give me money, yeah.
Yeah.
Justin.
Uh-huh.
I believe with regards to Civ's haste, I believe the words you're looking for are dispel magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, the spell
Oh.
magic is
Yeah.
great.
Oh, let me look at the mob list I have.
Yeah. But I believe.
It seems like none of them should or would know dispel magic in the
Yeah.
near
Right.
future anyway. And then
Yet
I just
slaves are somehow able to summon devils. That's the puzzle next.
There is a magic scroll that uses
it,
that.
wa-
Yeah.
it was less about them being slave, but more about them being tiefling.
I
Yeah.
can take counter spell too.
Yeah. Do it.
I
Yeah.
Do it,
counterspell
girl.
your
Counterspell.
counterspell.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
counterspell your counterspell
No.
to your counterspell.
Nice.
Or whatever.
Star Wars, yes, I fought those before.
Oh god.
Yeah.
The counterspell war.
The
That would be
counterspell
interesting.
war. Oh my god. Wizards are really good at counterspelling. I won't lie. This is the best. Okay, what do I have actually besides? Well, I think that's just it.
Yeah, extra
for-
attack.
Yeah, just extra attack. Fighters, man.
Man, going into Alflin, it's gonna be a totally different racism there.
Yeah, totally different racism. Yes.
If you can't speak Elvish, you a degenerate.
Oh man,
Does,
I can only speak Celestial.
I can only
does
speak
anybody
common.
speak
Dwarf.
Elvish?
No, not
I
me. I don't. None of
Oh,
us
that's
speaks
only
that.
one.
That's amazing.
We're all,
Hell
we're
yeah.
all in this together.
Well, I can
Maybe,
speak Dwarvish. I can curse at them with words they might, language they may not understand.
Well,
Which is good.
no, I was going to say with Adrian, with a little help from him and Civ, maybe you could convince them that I am a god. You know, me
I
going
do
Super
have-
Saiyan and all that.
I do have.
Are you
I
are
do
you
have
sure
a
you wanna
perception.
are you sure you wanna mention that you're a god when they have been rejecting the god's messages?
Yeah. Probably not your brightest idea, Oren. Probably
God
not.
incarnate, plus 11 to the deception.
Yeah, you could probably do it.
What an 11 in
I can
deception.
see them pulling it off.
Man, what a social mastermind this is. God
Yeah.
damn it.
God damn it.
But don't worry, they rely on their magic rather than their wits anyway.
As a bard, actually, because they would
Yeah.
have better skills.
5th level. Oh, right. We need to roll for our.
I already did.
Alright. Hit dice. Here we go. 5.
Could take average, but that's boring.
Well, I'll take average. I'll take
I
average.
usually
So,
take average.
Yeah,
Jen, I send you a message
I'll take average.
Send me a
something writ-
message.
in
Yeah.
Discord.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah.
you should all know who my patron deity is.
Who?
Yeah.
Loki? Is that
So
you?
if you took the context what I described to him about him holding a bow and a green arrow, you
I
already know
know.
who we're talking about.
Yeah.
Loki? I'm pretty sure it's Loki.
Still Loki?
No.
Yeah, 'cause
Loki,
had,
no.
as I recall, had,
Clarification: Loki gave the arrow. He didn't shoot.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of makes sense with the first story I told all of you.
Yeah.
Alright. Well,
There was a man separate from Loki. Loki just gave him the arrow, and
Mhm.
No,
basically,
Yeah.
I'm sure they did at some point.
yeah, you'll know some point. Yeah,
Yeah.
don't worry.
We'll know.
It's not.
Unless you like to do your research, then you'll know who Dennis's patron is.
I
Whoo!
have a pretty
we-
good idea. I remember the story. I don't remember the names. I know who his patron is.
Yeah, I think I do. It just I need to brush off on my Norse mythology. Really.
Yeah.
That's
Alright.
that
Well,
point.
Man,
well, I need to call it a night right now, guys.
Mhm.
see ya.
See ya.
Good game as always.
Yeah.
By the way,
Wonders.
Justin and Robin, we are not going to be playing Ashes of a Shuttle next week because
Yeah.
our monk is not able to join us. Instead, you will be going into the hell that is deep space, fighting killer robots.
Silence.
Happy,
No.
happy
Yeah.
nightmares, both of you.
No, just kidding. But yeah, we'll
Oh
see.
wait, are we having Ashes next week?
No,
or-
not
No,
Ashes. That's
no,
what he
he's not
just
able to make
said.
it.
Yeah.
He's not able to make it. We'll be doing Planet Mercenary.
Yeah.
Oh, because the thing is, I don't think I'll be there next week, so it's probably sorry.
Well, let me know. Let me know if you're gonna be there next week. Fine. If not, we all
I
get the night
think
off.
it's just a problem of that I'm not. I know I have to do something. I just don't know if it's in
Yeah.
conflict with our time. I'll make sure
Okay.
to message
Okay.
you.
We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see.
just let me know. Right. I'll keep an eye out. If it's in conflict, again, if it's in conflict, that's
We can always
fine,
take a
right?
break if
Yeah.
it's a conflict. It's fine. Yeah.
All right. Well, like I said, I got called in the night here, gentlemen.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
See ya.
And
And
lady.
lady.
Yeah.
All right. Good game. Good night.
Good night.
Yeah. Good night.
Jun, totally he is. Yeah. Yeah, totally he is. Yeah, totally.